Okay, so what do? You've got an old house, and this is really only pertains to old houses, and the house we're working on here is 140 years old plus. That means that dates it back to just after the Civil War. The problem we have is the floors, after all this time, the house has shifted and is settled, and so the floors are uneven. We've been working on this kitchen project, and we're going to look at the floors today to see how you would deal with the floor that's uneven. Now I want to tell you, first of all, you must check and see, make sure your floor joists are solid, make sure there's no rot on your sill plates, make sure that your foundation looks okay. Assuming those things are right and you're not going to spend the energy and time to jack the house up, which is very expensive and causes other problems, what are you going to do? So today we're going to look at how you can level a floor without really getting involved in the underneath part of it, but actually doing it from the top side. We've done this on several floors in this house, and they've been very successful in it. So we'll look at this today. It's a slow process. It does take time, and as we're going through this, I think you'll see how this works. It's really pretty simple. So let's look at the floors now. If you're looking from one end of the room to the other end, you'll see that there's about a 2.5 inch drop. I'm standing on the high side, and we're looking down toward the low side now. 3/4 of the floor is done. You see the new OSB on the floor now, and this has already been done. So let's look at this last section to really see how you would do it if you're going to do it, and what we've done here. The floor joists run parallel with this board you see underneath the OSB, and that's real important. What you want to do is you take one board at a time, one 8-foot board at a time, but that area you build it up so that it's level. You do that by laying different kinds of boards and sizes of boards and shims and whatever it takes underneath it at one 4x8 foot sheet at a time. Like I said, it's very time consuming. But if you look at this, you can see how this is done. You can see the difference in the floor, how it's dropped. Over here it's about maybe an inch low, and over here it's maybe an inch and a half, close to 2 inches low over here where the doorway is. The door's already been raised, so that the floor will match the door when we're done. Now when you look at this, the problem becomes what to use. And really, I use just about anything I can find. I use scrap lumber because as long as it's solid lumber and not infested with bugs or infested with any problems, you shouldn't have any difficulty in using it. But under the lumber, the problem is you have sloping areas everywhere. So I use cedar shims. And I use cedar because of the durability and the fact that they don't deteriorate. But I use cedar shims under wherever I need to use them, and I put them underneath the board. And you'll see here's a shim underneath. That's not a cedar shim. That's actually 2 pieces of plywood. But you'll see here on this board, for example, there is a cedar shim here. And you'll see that on this as we move in a little bit closer. So what you do is you lay it out your level, lay down your board, go level from the end of this board where we start here. We'll go level clear across the floor, which is not level, and we'll end up on the other side. And so as we do that, it's a one piece at a time kind of a situation. You don't really want to get ahead of yourself because you want to make sure everything is level when you've got done, and you also want to make sure it's solid. Now to ensure the fact that there's no squeaking because we're adding so many different things, I think it's best to glue every board on both sides, on the bottom side and then between the OSB and the elevated board. This will keep down the squeak in the future. Make sure you screw them in well. You can see how this one is screwed in here about every 6 or 8 inches. That keeps it a little solider too. So when this floor is done, there won't be any problem with it. It'll look just like a brand new floor. And taking all the trim out of the floor, you'll see that or off of the walls, you see that it'll look just like it was never done. Now, the only problem you run into is if you have a house that's drifted and it has no new windows in it. Now, this one had windows in it about 30 years ago or 25 years ago, and so because of those windows, which are level, the floor will look level compared to them. But you might have a problem with having your windows or doors be unlevel and your floor being level. You'll just have to deal with those situations as you come to them. Well, it's not the only solution for sure, but it is the one that works the best for us that we've found, and it's also the least expensive and the solidest way to do it. So all I can say is if you've got an old house, you have to be creative. And part of being creative is using whatever material you got, using whatever you got to do, and getting the job done. So good luck on your projects. I hope this helps a little bit.